So we all know that Insomniac is currently working on a Wolverine game. It's been announced a while ago. We were all a little bummed out that we didn't get any new announcements or updates about the game during our summer game reveal season. But obviously, we're crossing our fingers that we're going to get some new information about the game sooner rather than later. We also know that, although it hasn't been officially confirmed, they're making Marvel Spider-Man 3. I mean, like, come on. The writing is on the wall. Spider-Man 2 has sold over 11 million copies, 7 nominations at the Game Awards, tons of wins, 90 on Metacritic. The list goes on and on and on. They're making Spider-Man 3, we all know. However, there are rumors now that they are working on a third game, a third AAA title in Insomniac. What that game could be? Well, that's what we're going to be doing some speculating about here in today's video. Right before we do so, though, please hit that thumbs up button if you're looking forward to all these future Insomniac projects. And also, I got some information for you guys about some awesome deals for some really nice laptops. Let's have a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by ASUS Canada, and I got to tell you guys about one of the coolest laptops I have ever seen. This is the ASUS Zenbook Duo. And on the surface, a nice looking laptop. Sleek design, it's not too heavy, you know, everything looks real good from what you're seeing with the naked eye. But there is more than meets the eye here with the Zenbook Duo, because you see, you can actually pull off the keyboard and you have a second screen. It's called the Zenbook Duo for a reason. And what's really nice about the Zenbook Duo, both of these screens, both of these monitors, a dual 3K 120 Hz OLED display. Hey guys, beyond the Zenbook Duo, there are a ton of amazing deals going on right now for ASUS laptops. I'm gonna leave a link in the description box below for the sale. Whether you want laptops for productivity or work-related things, or if you want a laptop for gaming, they got sales for either. And also, with Prime Day on the horizon, they do got some crazy deals coming for that as well. Thank you very much once again to ASUS Canada for sponsoring today's video. And with that being said, let's get back to the content. All right, so we got an article here from DualShockers that details a ton of information about what is going on at Insomniac Games right now. It says here at the top of the article that while we already know that Insomniac is working on Marvel's Wolverine for the PS5, it appears that the studio has some unannounced projects also in the works. I mean, that's exactly what we're saying at the top of the video. To continue on, though, it says here, nothing has been formally announced regarding this, but an Insomniac Games developer has confirmed that the studio is working on multiple projects. This is where it gets interesting. The news that Insomniac was working on multiple games outside of Marvel's Wolverine was shared by a developer on LinkedIn. The dev, whose name we'll leave out to protect their identity, is a senior character and concept artist who mentions their projects as Marvel's Wolverine and 2 unannounced games. It's also mentioned in the article that this person was someone who worked on Marvel's Spider-Man 2 as well. One of them is like a surefire bet it's gonna be Marvel Spider-Man 3. The games industry is so weird. Everybody knows that Insomniac is making a Spider-Man 3, but for some reason they can't officially confirm it until they got like a trailer or some form of an official announcement ready to go. But yeah, one of those 2 unannounced games guaranteed is Spider-Man 3. I mean, the second game, I just mentioned all those accolades, they're gonna make another one. And hell, I mean, you know, there's been interviews with Yuri Lowenthal and Najee Jeter, and they have pretty much confirmed and talked about some of their thoughts on the next game. So what is this third mystery game? Now that we know Marvel Spider-Man 3 is probably going to be one of the 2, what's that third one that Insomniac is working on? A safe assumption would be to say that it's a Ratchet & Clank game. We got ripped apart back in 2021. A lot of people love that game. Wasn't a massive success sales-wise from what I understand, but even still, people adore the Ratchet & Clank franchise, and Insomniac, I imagine, has ideas to take it even further. But given the success of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and looking at the terrain and seeing they're now expanding to other Marvel properties, they're making a Wolverine game, a lot of people would also be safe to assume that this third mystery project is another Marvel game. And well, when Spider-Man 2 was coming out and we were finding out, you know, Venom was going to be involved, he was going to have a big part in the game, and then even when we found out that he was playable in a mission, people were saying, hey, Insomniac, you guys want to make a Venom game? And I believe it was John Paquette himself around the launch of Marvel Spider-Man 2 that essentially like all but confirmed it was something they were thinking about doing. He mentioned in an interview that they were just gonna listen to the fans and see what people want and then kind of assess the situation from there. And considering that even before we knew we could play as Venom in Marvel Spider-Man 2, everyone was like, I would love to see a Venom game from Insomniac. I don't think that opinion has changed ever since. It might even be even more of a demand than it was before the game came out. So if Insomniac is in this position of, okay, well, we're gonna listen to what the fans want, and if everyone really wants a Venom game, then maybe they are working on a Venom game. They've already got kind of the groundwork of a playable Venom from that one mission that's in Marvel Spider-Man 2. You just kind of need to expand on it from there. And I don't think that a Venom game is gonna be like a massive AAA scale game. I don't think it's gonna be on the level of Marvel Spider-Man 2 or even Marvel Spider-Man 1. It's probably gonna be something that's more akin to the size of Spider-Man Miles Morales. And I mean, Spider-Man Miles Morales, it released 2 years after the first Spider-Man game. I think it was developed in like a year. Wild how quick Insomniac gets to work on this stuff. So if they're working on a Venom game, it could be right around the corner. So when we're looking at this article from DualShockers and they're mentioning that somebody at Insomniac posted on their LinkedIn that they're working on 2 unannounced projects, well, we can kind of deduce that one of them could be, maybe even most likely is, a Venom game. And if that is the case, and we're getting, you know, the Spider-Man franchise, then we're getting Marvel's Wolverine and Marvel's Venom, all from Insomniac. These guys are not only carrying the PS5 console generation, but they're also like carrying all Marvel games, man. I don't know how Insomniac does it. Maybe they have earned the name Insomniac Games, but all I know is that if they are making a Venom game, I would be extremely excited, especially for some of the things that were kind of left open in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Could we see Carnage show up as like the main villain of a Venom game? And hell, give me all the Life Foundation symbiotes, man. I talked about a lot of things that I would love in a Venom game in previous videos. That all still stands. And I think Insomniac is in a really interesting position where they can kind of make their cake and have it too. There were a lot of people out there, okay, Venom purists, who were very upset that Harry Osborn was Venom in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Insomniac wanted to do something different. That's kind of been the motto of the entire Spider-Man franchise. They're putting their own stamp on this character and its world. That applies to the villains. That applies to the white symbol on the suit. And yes, that applies to their interpretation of Venom in this game. But if they do make a Venom game, we know one Eddie Brock does exist in the Marvel Spider-Man games. He is an Easter egg in one of the collectibles in the first Spider-Man game. He does work at the Daily Bugle. There totally could be room here for them to make Eddie Brock the star of the show of a Venom game. There are some risks. Obviously, you know, you're kind of fast-tracking the character of Eddie Brock and his motivations, and as well him becoming Venom and kind of mastering that power. But I don't know, maybe Insomniac could pull it off because, you know, with Spider-Man Miles Morales, we were kind of going through those same motions. He had only just gotten bit by that spider at the end of Spider-Man PS4, and he was only barely getting trained by Peter Parker's Spider-Man in the DLC. So when we went into Miles Morales' own game, he was becoming his own Spider-Man, and I felt that that game did a really good job at displaying all of that. So I feel that Insomniac could totally handle in a Miles Morales-sized game the origin of Eddie Brock becoming Venom in this universe. And with that being said, I guess now let me kick it to you guys. Sound off with your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you think that Insomniac is making a Venom game? If not, what do you think are those 2 unannounced projects that were listed on that developer's LinkedIn? I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. I've been Caboose. I'll see you guys later.